You can control the AS1 with the TORAIZ SP-16. This allows you to control and sequence notes, as well as load presets and change parameters. If you're using the SP-16 with Pro DJ Link and CDJs, the AS1 timing will sync to the master CDJ. To get started, make sure the SP-16 is on firmware version 1.3 or later. Check out the SP-16 firmware update video for more information. Connect a MIDI cable between the MIDI out on the SP-16 and the MIDI in on the AS1. Next, you'll need to change some settings on both units. On the SP-16, press the Utility button on the home screen. Scroll down to MIDI Interface Select and make sure it's set to DIN MIDI. Exit settings by pressing back, then tap the pad for the track you want to use to control the AS1. Tap Track Type in the track menu and select TORAIZ AS1. Now the SP-16 is set up, you'll also need to change the AS1 settings. Press Global, then navigate to MIDI channel and set to all. Set MIDI parameter receive to CC. Then set MIDI control enable to on. You're now set up to control the AS1 with the SP-16. You can choose the bank and preset. And you can set the scale. You'll notice that the 8 controls below the screen will now control different parameters on the AS1. Using the CC options on the screen, you can change which parameters you can control. If you have multiple MIDI devices linked up, you'll need to set the MIDI channel. Each track on the SP-16 by default is set to the MIDI channel that corresponds with the pad number. For example, pad 1 is MIDI track 1, pad 2 is MIDI track 2, etc. If you set the MIDI channel to a certain channel on the AS1, it will only read MIDI that's sent to that channel. So if you have the AS1 and another synth, you can set the AS1 to channel 1 and the other synth to channel 2. That way you can control up to 16 external instruments independently. When using the AS1 and the SP-16 together, the setup can be configured so that pressing play on the SP-16 will activate the sequencer on the AS1. Or you can disable this mode to sequence the notes from the SP-16 instead. To use the AS1 sequencer, you'll need to set it up. Go to the Utility settings in the SP-16. Scroll down to MIDI clock, and under the MIDI out settings, set it to enable. Then set Start, Stop, Continue to enable. The AS1 MIDI clock mode also needs to be set to slave. To do this, press Global and scan to number 6 MIDI clock mode using parameter control. Press Global again to save and exit. Now when you press play, it will press play on the AS1 sequencer. To sequence notes from the SP-16, you'll need to go to the Utility settings. Under the MIDI out settings, change Start, Stop, Continue to disable. And make sure Note CC is set to enable. The SP-16 can now trigger notes from the AS1.